Hi, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of the Bison video blog with the most preeminent FCS mind in America, Jeff Kolpack. I'm Dom Izzo. 10 games back in our FCS.
Thanks for admitting as much. Here, let me turn the knife a couple more turns.
He's got a huge lead, and everybody is coming up to me and saying how sorry they feel that I'm getting beaten this. But there's still some time
It's
left.
a pity party here today at the Bison Media Blog. Although, let me say this about the Chattanooga Mocs, who ruined my attempt to go 5-0 on you in swing games. Lost in 3 overtimes.
They did to Georgia Southern, yes. I know, it's devastating for
the
you.
Mocs, the moccasins, the Mocs. Change them to the Chokes.
Oh. They couldn't come through for you. We'll get to the poll in just a second. The Bison get set. They go to a place where the last time, Jeff, was maybe the ugliest Bison performance we've seen in a long time, and a game they had to have in 2010 to make the playoffs. That's what we thought going in. They lost 3-0 at Missour State. Springfield is not give a lot of pleasant memories for the Bison.
It was 2 years ago when NDSU needed that win on the last game of the season. Ironically, this is the last home game of the season for Missour State. And maybe there's something about how Terry Allen can get his team up for the last home game. There's a little hurrah factor there that, before you take the field, you'll never see this field again. For you seniors, lay it all on the line. Yeah. This is it. There's a lot of new Rockney thing going on, I think.
Mo State comes into this game at 3-6, but more importantly, Jeff, they've won their last 3 in a row. What have you seen out of the Bears that they've really done here to turn their season around?
They started 0-6, but their defense has been pretty decent of late, and this team's pretty good. And you can't just dismiss it as a 3-6 team. It'll be a total walkover. Yeah. And the reason is this: they're pretty good defensively. They're 3rd in the league in scoring defense. They're 2nd in total defense. They're 4th in pass defense. So you have some statistics there that can maybe help keep a team in the game anyway. And this is a lot's going to be on NDSU. If they go in thinking, it's a 3-6 team, they'll roll over. Yeah. That could be another 2010 again.
Now let's flip the script though, because the way the Bison have played on the road since Missour State, I know they have a loss in there as well. The game at Eastern Washington, they've won 9 in a row. What is it about it? You said it to me during the when we were blogging on Saturday, that they look better on the road than they do at home. Why is that?
I think they do. Maybe it's more of not so many distractions at home. You don't have all these fans and tickets. I don't know. That's a good question.
Craig Ball alluded to that a little bit with us. He didn't want to go that far, but he said that they definitely are focused and there's a routine when they go out on the road. And we've seen it, obviously, over the last 2 seasons.
I think they have one of the best routines in college football. And what they've done, and they learned this at Montana in 2003, that they don't do the walkthrough Friday and try to go through the opposing team's stadium and all that. They practice here on Friday, get on a plane or a bus,
then they
go to the opposing team, have a meeting at night, dinner, wake up and play a game. They try to simplify it, make it a business trip like that, and it's worked. I don't know why more teams don't replicate that.
The Bison defense is at a stat right now and a clip right now with a statistic that I got to mention that bears something on the blog that we need to talk about. 8 of the last 9 opponents have had under 250 yards of total offense. That's unbelievable. That goes back to the Sam Houston State game in the championship last year.
It's unbelievable. Southern Illinois had 11 yards rushing.
Right.
It's a team that's pretty good. Have won 3 in a row coming in. Missouri State's won 3 in a row coming in.
Is this defense better? I guess that begs the question.
Yes.
Is the 2012 better than in 2011?
Even without Colton Hegel, it's better. I think the line up front's a little better with Drevlo and Levon Perry
Kyle Manuel.
They've more than made up, I think, for Coulter Boyer being gone. That was a big loss. The big thing, though, Grant Olson has been everything that
was he needed to be, what Preston Evans was.
What Evans was in leadership
was,
is what I was trying to get, yep.
And also, you look at it, you mentioned it earlier back in September, he couldn't get hurt, he hasn't yet, and that's why the linebackers have been so good. But it's also still a position that there's not much behind. We haven't seen a whole lot out of Deshaun Dinwiddie, a guy I thought was going to really break through so far this season, and we haven't seen that yet.
Well, as long as the offense does a 40-minute time of possession per game,
exactly
19 for Southern Illinois, the odds of getting hurt are lessened.
You look at how the standings shape up here. We have 3 weeks to go and still nothing decided. Indiana State sits at 5-1. They have a huge game with Illinois State this weekend. Then it's the Bison and South Dakota State right after that, and then Illinois State and Southern Illinois. I ask you every week on this, how many teams get into the playoffs with 3 weeks to go?
Less and less, I think, isn't it? Doesn't it seem?
Because it seems like more teams out of other conferences. The Big Sky has a legitimate 5 teams that could make it.
I think there's more teams, and I don't know this for a fact, but it seems at this stage of the year, there's more teams with 1 or 2 losses.
No doubt.
Certainly than there was last year.
Absolutely.
So now those 7 and 4 teams, I think, at the end of the year have no chance.
Yeah.
I don't think, unless they've had some great schedule and some big-time wins, If you're 7-4, I don't see anybody getting in.
So Southern Illinois, if they run the table, will be 7-4.
Will not get in.
They're out.
Yep.
South Dakota State right now sits at 4-1. They go to Carbondale this week. I'm not quite sure if Bison fans want SDSU or Southern Illinois to win that game because right now the Jacks are a half game tie with the Bison behind Illinois State.
I think if you're a Bison fan, the score 3-0 ought to scare you enough, and that was 2 years ago at Missouri State.
3 weeks to go in the regular season, still nothing to be decided. Jeff and I will be in Springfield. He's working on trying to track down a live bear.
Where's my dog?
we had a live animal for the pregame show on Saturday. I'm not sure when we can get out of Springfield. We'll be there starting our coverage at 11 a.m. on Saturday, the latest edition of the Bison Video Blog.